Hey everyone, happy Monday. I don't know what that means in the nursing world unless you have a regular day job, but nonetheless, I wanted to come on here today to share with you a little bit about who I am. We have a lot of new members in this group, and I was looking back at the last introduction post I did, and it was in May, so I think it's probably due time that I tell you, some of you new people, or if you didn't catch the original post back then, who I am and why I'm here and why I am running this group and what I do and just everything. So this is all about me. So if you're interested, you'll tune in. So I am a nurse. I'm still a registered nurse, and I've been a nurse for about 15 years now. And I spent primarily, I started my career in the NICU in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I worked there for 4 years full time. Until I really hit the wall and found myself needing to get out. There was a couple really significant, awful, traumatic situations, patients that I was dealing with, and left me in a really bad place. And I was really struggling with depression. And what I think back now, you know, like levels of PTSD, definitely moral injury as well in there. And anyways, I was really, you know, like we love our dark humor, I was circling the drain and found myself really needing to get out. And so I did. I took the first opportunity I could, and I moved into the community. When I was in the community, I worked with people with diabetes and heart disease, and I found really like my passion, which was program development and implementation, of course, but really like taking research and past programs and like what worked and what didn't work and pulling them all together to create really robust programs for people with chronic disease. And we ran such tremendous programs there in Manitoba. And then we moved here to Prince George, BC, my husband and I, and we have 3 kids. We didn't at the time, we had 1. And I went back to the NICU because it was the first place I could really get a job. And just found myself really struggling with the shift work and fatigue, and found myself also having a lot of gastrointestinal issues and stress. And it just felt like I was sinking further and further into the pit that I had kind of worked my way not completely out of, you know, in my community job in Manitoba, but I was doing so much better with that role I was in, and I just found myself slipping really, really badly in the other direction. And a lot of the social situations that I was dealing with in the NICU were weighing really heavily on me. It was really hard to watch. You know, it's hard to watch anybody struggle. It really is, but it was really hard to watch babies who didn't ask for this. They didn't, not that any of us ask for illness or pain, but, you know, these poor little beings that were brought into this world, you know, being neglected and abused right from the start. It was hurting my heart so deeply that I had to get out of there. I love the work. I truly do. I am, I think, at heart, a really a NICU nurse. It is something that I absolutely love doing. But it was too heavy for me, and I didn't have the tools or the resources or the support to help me deal with that. I think had I had that, I would have probably stuck it out in that environment. But I made my way out, found myself in the community again, back to program development and working with people with heart disease in a cardiac rehab program. Again, really like taking it by the reins and developing a huge and robust program for our northern BC cardiac patients. And when I went on my last mat leave, which was almost 4 years ago now, they cut the whole program. This was a big hit, and I think it was the last straw for me, because I felt like the moral distress that came with that, because, you know, I know we could be doing so much more for people. You all know that. You all feel that every day. Like, we could be doing so much more for people, and we're not supported to do so. And that takes its toll on us, because it's like, we're stuck in this, what I call the box of nursing. We're stuck and we can't do what it is that we really know people will benefit from, and we can't do what our heart wants us to do, the depths of our soul wants to give to people, to serve and to help them heal. We're not given the resources or the support to do so. And that is moral distress, when we can't fulfill what is inherently natural and desirable for us to give to people. When we can't fulfill that, then we land ourselves in this situation of moral injury. And moral injury contributes to burnout. It contributes to depression and anxiety, the whole bit. And I'm going to talk in some later videos about all of that. But really today I wanted to share with you a little bit about my story and just how things have kind of transpired for me over the years. And so I found myself after that incident where they cut the whole program when I was coming back from my mat leave in a situation where I was at a crossroads. Do I go back into this environment that is not allowing me to thrive, or do I pursue something different? Talk about a really scary place, because there's so much uncertainty in trying something new, in switching jobs. You all know that. And when I made the choice to quit the role that I was in, the position I was in at the clinic, it was really scary, and but also really freeing. So the fear was like, what am I going to do next? Am I going to be good enough? Am I going to be able to figure this out? Can I actually make an income? Am I good enough for this? And all the other self-doubt things that crept in. But the excitement was that, oh my God, I get to create something that is just, what I want to do. I wasn't stuck in the box anymore. That kind of freedom from bursting out of those cage walls that were put in our when we work in this healthcare system is it was extremely freeing. So I became a holistic wellness coach with the International Association of Wellness Professionals in 2019. And then last year in the summer, I decided to really focus on working with my colleagues, my nursing colleagues. And I took all of my skills in program development that I have developed over the years of being a nurse, and I created a program for nurses. So it's called Nurse RX, and it is chock full of information. So there's tons of content, but there's also lots of tools and practices and exercises to help you gain more insight into what's going on in your life and how it's impacting you and what you would like to see change, processing through trauma and really deep emotional wounds, shedding the layers, shedding emotions, allowing ourselves freedom to express our truth, and really, in addition to that, a significant supportive environment of other nurses. And so I'm going to talk on Friday, and I hope you'll join. I scheduled a live for some questions about the Nurse RX program and what's all involved in it. But it's my passion now, and I don't regret any bit of my years in traditional nursing, because it has grown me to where I am today. It put me up against the walls of what I didn't want and helped me to see how I could turn that into something absolutely beautiful. It allowed me to take my mental illness, my depression, and it allowed me to turn it into something that I can give back to people out there who are struggling in so many of the same ways that I have in my life. And I know the depths of the pit of despair. I know the depths of depression and anxiety. And I also know that you can make it through, that you too can find healing, that you can find relief, you can find freedom from all of that is holding you stuck inside. And it doesn't mean you have to leave nursing. Some of you will, some of you won't, but that's not my intention. My intention is on healing, on allowing us a safe space to be who we are, to drop our armor and really just expand and open up to everything that we are, and to release so much of the heaviness that's weighing on us, so much of the baggage that we're carrying around from not just nursing, but life in general and past lives. Like we carry a ton as women and as nurses. So anyways, back to me. I hope you found this kind of interesting as an introduction to who I am and how I've grown to where I am today. I will tell you that the last 6 or 7 years, somewhere in there, have been a significant turning point in my life, where I was able to come off of, antidepressant medications. I was able to find supportive community and help myself heal some of the deep wounds that I have experienced in my life personally, but also as a nurse. And I would say probably a lot of generational trauma. I'm still working on it. It's a lifelong journey. But I think when we are called to it, if you feel called to it, if you feel called to do this kind of work for yourself, it heals those around you as well. It helps to break those patterns. And it's really a gift. It's not easy. I would never tell people that healing is sunshine and unicorns, because it's not. It's not. It's heavy and it's dark, and it can be really scary and really difficult at times. But I feel like when we're called to do this, kind of work to improve the lives of those around us, and to also improve our own life, then we are all worth it to go through the difficult stuff, that to take the time to invest in ourselves, to show up for ourselves, to do the work, but we don't have to do it alone. I thought forever that I could do this on my own, and I couldn't. It wasn't like there wasn't enough information for me out there. I couldn't do it successfully on my own. Once I found support, once I found community, once I found, people who were willing to really accept me for who I am, I started to see the most significant shifts in myself, and I see it in my clients all the time. So one of the biggest things I want you to hear is that, I get it if you're sitting there thinking like, I don't need any help. Maybe you don't, but maybe you're also like me with these old beliefs that we're supposed to do it all on our own, that asking for help means you're weak or you're some kind of failure, and that we should be able to just master and do everything, even the most difficult, awful, destructive, traumatic things. We're supposed to just be able to figure it out and manage it on our own. And if we can't, if we're struggling in some way, then that means that we're not good enough. And I'm here to tell you that that's bullshit. It's not true. You are good enough. The systems are designed to make us feel like we fail, to make us feel like we're not good enough. But with support, you too can find your way out. You can find the freedom that you're looking for, the harmony in your life, where your life doesn't feel like chaos and dysynchrony all the time. So I could go on, and I often do, but I'm going to show up here for the next couple weeks, at least anyways. But I will continue for as long as this path continues to call me, and share with you as much as I can to help you through. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here anytime to connect and to hear your story.